Hello, thanks for joining me again. Hope you like the outdoor surroundings. It's going to be an outdoor video today, off to a special place in my heart, which is Sheffield. And those of you who follow the channel will have been there before with me, but hopefully you'll enjoy this next little adventure. Before I crack on and tell you about that, let me just say I am so grateful for all the fantastic comments and the overwhelming response I got to the last video I did with me and Lucy going to Bury to do our little XA2 shootout. It was so nice to get all that positive feedback, and it justified my decision to spend more time creating a proper video package rather than just throwing something together. So thank you so much for that. Hopefully this will be, if not as good, at least worth your time. And what I'm going to be doing is going to follow the Round Sheffield Run, which is an annual event. In fact, I think they actually put it on in the winter as well as the summer now, but when I've done it in the past, it's been a summer multi-stage race around Sheffield. Now, I have let myself get very unfit over the last year, and I am not up to doing this route. I think it's like maybe half marathon, something like that. Anyway, I am not feeling up to actually running that race. So what I'm going to do instead is what I always wished I could do while I was running it, which is take photographs of it at the most picturesque spots. There's one in particular up near a park that looks down over Sheffield, and I'm hoping I'll get a really nice shot there. I took a picture on my phone once and I was like, oh, if only I'd taken that properly. So I'm going to try and do it this time, and I'm going to be shooting it on film. I'll probably take some digital as well, but it's going to be another Olympus XA2, and I have a roll of Colour Plus to load into the camera. So I'm going to do that in this incredible daylight, which is probably going to fog the film. It'll be fine. I'm going to load this up, and then the next time you see me, hopefully I will be starting this route around Sheffield. Right, let's get loaded up. There we are, to Sheffield. And so after a short railway journey east across the stunning Peak District countryside, I found myself back in the city that I knew so well from my student days. So here I am in, well, not really sunny Sheffield. It's got a bit chilly and rainy. I'm going to have to do this up, I think. But I have my camera here, and we are going to head off that away, and I'll hopefully be able to get some pictures of bits and bobs of scenery on the way. Right, let's crack on and hope the rain doesn't get any worse. So I walked across Sheffield, and there were some nice pictures to be taken along the way. There's always interesting buildings. The architecture in Sheffield is quite fantastic, and there's a lot of street art and street life. So I got a few snaps as I went along, but I was really eager to get to the start of the race as soon as possible, so as not to miss any of the action. So here I am at Endcliffe Park, and this is the start and finish of the Round Sheffield Run, and I'm going to try and get some nice pictures. So let's get into the festival atmosphere, get some start and finish, and then we'll try and do some of the route itself. We won't be able to do all of it, but I'll try and do some of it. The race is run in waves, so some people are finishing a long time before the others, and there are people also who are accompanying friends and family or are just there for the festival atmosphere. It was at this point I was really glad that I'd take my digital camera as well, because I didn't want to use up all my film. So as you can see, these ones are digital. The main picture that I wanted to get though, as I said in my introduction, was at Mearsbrook Park, where one of the last stages of the race takes place. And there's a fantastic short but fast section down through the park from the top to the bottom. So I've reached the park, Mearsbrook Park, and I'm making my way up the hill, which is hard going. I would rather be going downhill, which is what the runners are going to be doing, but I wouldn't rather be doing 24 kilometres, which is also what they're doing today and tomorrow, because this race used to be run on one day, Sunday I think. Anyway, one or the other, but now it's both, and I think it's actually full up both days again. They do a winter one as well, which, feeling this heat, even though it's cloudy and dull, it's kind of attractive though. I bet by the time it gets to winter I won't want to be coming back here and doing it. Anyway, once I'd climbed the hill, I picked out what I thought was a good spot to get pictures of the runners coming down the hill. It was at this point I was really glad again that I brought my digital camera as well as film, because 36 exposures just isn't enough when you're taking lots of pictures where you want to catch the exact moment. So here you can see a kind of meta picture taken with my film camera of the setup of my digital camera, waiting for later runners to appear, and these next pictures are taken with that setup. I think you'll agree they are more dramatic, more exciting. I wanted to be able to see exactly what my framing was, to catch exactly the right composition, and I also wanted to be able to change my lens to go for something a bit more telephoto. I like the picture I took with film, but I definitely would pick one of the digital ones if I had to just choose one, and I also think they work really well in black and white. After bagging the shot that I really wanted to get up on the hill, I decided to go and try and get some pictures from the other stages of the race. Not all of them, but a few, to get a flavour of the event as a whole before heading back to the festival village. Don't know why I decided to take the picture of the flowers, but I'm glad I did. Just stopped for a quick coffee, going to go and rejoin, but just stopped at Hans Community Garden, which looks very nice. Headed to the start of stage 10 of the race and followed the runners through the more residential area, where it's quite nice to see the juxtaposition of the runners and the ordinary day-to-day of the street. Here you can see one of the problems with shooting with a non-SLR camera, because I was trying to show somebody running past the arrow pointing the direction of the race. However, the viewfinder and the lens are offset just enough so that it looks like they're just running into a wall. I quite like this one though, where I caught the runner going past some poppies and the colours of the trainers kind of match the colours of the flowers. And again, this one I think just shows the incongruity of the runners running up the middle of the street. If you didn't know there's a race on, you'd wonder why they were doing it.
Well done everyone, nearly at the finish line. Nearly there, you are doing fantastically. Well done, absolutely smashing that, ladies.
I took a couple of pictures of some details, they're not very interesting. This is a book swap by the side of the road, and I was trying to show the runners going past it, but they are kind of lost in the distance. So on a wooded track now, nearing the finish line, and the runners are coming through, so I'm hopefully going to get a couple of pictures of them as they do so. And I did. It was difficult to actually take some pictures because it was very dark in this area. I quite like this one, although you can see a perhaps familiar figure sneaking into the frame on the left. After the wooded section, there was a final drop down through another bit of housing, which was quite dramatic when you were there. I'm not sure if it comes out on camera, down to the finish at Endcliffe Park. And of course, the rain was there to greet us. So we're back in Endcliffe Park, back at the start and finish, and that's where we'll leave it, I guess. I didn't leave it quite there because I went back and took a few more pictures in the festival village, but it had been a pretty tiring morning even without running the race itself, and I was ready to get back to the station and to home. So here I am back at Sheffield Station, Round Sheffield Run photographed. It was a really nice trip. It's got really hot and warm now, and so I'm going to enjoy this prawn sandwich and very cold bottle of Coke, which I really, really need. Just to let you into secrets, I've not actually been on my own for this one. Although it's just been me doing the photos and stuff this time, I have had the lovely Lucy here for company because we wanted a nice night out in Sheffield, and we did have a good night out last night going to the dogs at Owlerton, but that's a different story. Thanks so much for joining me on this one. I hope you'll join me for the next one very soon, but I'm going to go and enjoy this now. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye for now.